watching the sunrise on our third and final day along the White Rim proved bittersweet. Our time here had led me to the conclusion that this may be one of the most magnificent places on planet Earth. And so we lingered just a bit longer on this final morning, taking in the beauty of this unique landscape. Eventually, motivation to break down camp was found, aided somewhat by the bug situation, which had some of us taking drastic measures. Eventually, one last big climb brought us back to the mesa top and marked the end of our time in the Canyonlands National Park backcountry.
So I want to give you all an update. We just finished our 2-day trip around the White Rim Trail in Canyonlands. I'm going to show you, we're at the visitor center right now. This is actually where we started 2 days ago. And I don't know if you can tell, there's a little Jeep down there. We did the Schaefer switchbacks, which is directly below us. It takes you from the top here all the way down to the White Rim. I have to say that the camping that we did over the course of the last 2 days was phenomenal. Probably the best spots that we have ever camped at so far. The first night we were at the top of Hogback, and it was awesome to be right at the top looking down at everything. And then the second night we were at the Labyrinth, and we got to camp pretty much right next to the Green River. This is really just the beginning of our trip, and I'd have to say that this will likely not be the last time we were at, or the last time we will be at Canyonlands. This is phenomenal.
After a few short miles on pavement, we again turned off the highway onto another trail. This one we hoped would take us into Arches National Park from the west, while also allowing us to bypass the hordes of tourists using the main entrance. As an added bonus, before we reached the park boundary, we got to see something I had been looking forward to all morning.
Well, we left Canyonlands National Park, and we've got a few hours to kill, so we found a little trail, easy little trail that takes us to some dinosaur footprints, apparently. So I saw that, and I was like, well, we can't pass that up. So we're on our way to check out some dinosaur footprints and see what they look like.
The dinosaur tracks that can be found in this area were made some 165 million years ago by dinosaurs walking in the tidelands of an inland sea that once covered the Moab area. When the sea eventually receded, barren tide flats stretched for miles. When the mud and sand turned to stone, the tracks were preserved.
The inner geek in me is pretty excited. Never seen dinosaur footprints before, so this is pretty cool.
toothbrush and brush away all the dust and dirt.
Feeling thoroughly educated, we got back onto the trail and worked our way towards the Arches Park boundary. The surface here was interesting, as it was most all slick rock, but it had been mechanically grooved, something we hadn't experienced before. Soon enough, though, we reached the entrance to the park and, thankfully, an open gate. Once in the park, we turned north onto the Tower Arch Trail, marked by a technical four-wheel drive sign, and the trail did indeed get more technical and became a lot of fun.
So we just took a stop at the trailhead for the Eye of the Whale Arch in Arches National Park. So we're gonna head up and check it out. And it's pretty amazing actually how different Arches is from Canyonlands, considering they're so close together. So we're gonna go check it out. We don't have too much time here, but wanted to at least stop by and see it while we're here. The road coming in was pretty interesting, actually really fun. A little more technical than we were expecting, but nothing too crazy. So just a fun afternoon, and yeah, we're gonna go check out this arch. There it is.
With the day wearing on, it was time for us to turn around, head back down the trail, and work our way into Moab. While our time in Arches was admittedly very limited, it was clear that this was a special place, one that we would definitely be coming back to. Back on pavement again and leaving the national park behind, this should have been the end of today's adventure. But Mother Nature had other plans.
So we're back in Moab, and it's my birthday dinner, my early birthday dinner, and we're being treated to a heck of a show.
Yep.
Yeah, so
In the middle of a monsoon.
yeah, I think we're in the middle of a legit monsoon at a restaurant, and it's pretty hilarious. So we flip this around.
It was dry.
Everybody is kind of freaking out. I just want the power to stay on long enough that my pizza comes out of the oven.
I got a drink. I got a
Yeah, so we're gonna ride out the storm here, enjoy the show.
front row. What do you mean?
All right, back to the show.
Soon the storm was directly on top of us, and its intensity was unlike anything we'd ever experienced.
Update.
Oh, I just got food.
My pizza came out of the oven, so we're in good shape.
When we asked our server, a Moab native, how this storm compared to others she had seen, her response? This is the wrath of God. So yeah, this was a serious storm.
Well, last night was certainly intense. We came into Moab thinking that a highlight of our day was going to be seeing Arches National Park, but we got caught in a storm like we have never seen before. We all agreed that was the most intense storm we've ever seen, and we've seen a lot traveling through the west, but this was a full-blown monsoon. We had flash flooding in Moab, and this tree behind me, which is actually just outside the hotel we're staying at, got completely rocked. Not sure if it was a lightning strike or just the wind that took it down, but it is destroyed along with quite a few other trees around here. So yeah, honestly, super thankful that we were in town and that we were under shelter during that storm. Honestly, just couldn't help but think about all the people who were caught out in that storm and anyone who was out on the trails or camping, and so hope everybody made it through. Doesn't sound like there have been any fatalities or anything like that, at least reported yet, so that's good news. But again, it's just wild out here, and we're gonna take a down day today in Moab. We had originally planned on running some trails, but with the amount of saturation and moisture last night, I think a lot of those trails are marked as impassable when wet, and so we're just gonna take a day to re-provision and get ready for the next leg of our trip, which is gonna be great. It's going to be a few days on the Rim Rocker Trail, which connects Utah here in Moab to Colorado. So we're super excited for that. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of our adventure. And on the next episode, we start our trip along the Rim Rocker Trail featuring abandoned mines, an epic campsite, and we get caught in another huge storm.